If you're looking for a great book to read this weekend, Typhoon Coast by Mark Clifford. He actually has another one coming out, but I read it. It's a great read. It's a local author. He's based out of San Francisco. And I served with this guy. I don't know if you know that or not, but he was a staff sergeant when I was a lowly old lance corporal. And, he back then he was a god. And when we went to Okinawa for Desert Storm, he went down to the Philippines to help with the Mount Pinatubo. He took people and rendered aid for them and all that stuff. But he's a great guy. He's a retired police officer, and he wrote this book. And if you want to read it, read it. Typhoon Coast, you can get it on Amazon, and he's local, so you can get it autographed. Okay, that along with proposition facts. How long can I take to use Proposition 19 after I sell my house? Well, let's get into that really quick. We're going to use that as stay tuned because this is a funny video. Be your little final thought for the weekend. Proposition 19 took over Proposition 60 and 90 a few years ago, and the whole idea was allows you to transfer your tax base after you're 55 and other reasons over to another property. So if you bought a house for $50,000 and now it's worth $2 million, you can transfer that tax base all the way over to your new property, which could be like $6,000 a year instead of $2 million, be about $24,000 a year. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So your Proposition 19 is good. It's not as great as Proposition 60, but if you sell your property and it takes you a while to find that next property that you want to move into, how long do you have to use it? The answer is right here in this link. And the link is in my blog, so make sure you go jump over there and take a look at it. But it's 2 years. You get 2 years to be able to transfer the tax. So let's say you sell your house and you move to Idaho or Texas or Chicago or wherever. And you're like, I hate this place. I want to come back. Well, you can use that exclusion. You can use Proposition 19 to bring that value, that tax basis back to the new property that you're buying. Now, the negative is if you leave for 2 years and you come back and it goes up 8% per year, well, you're buying back into the Bay Area pricing. So that kind of sucks, but at least this is a nice cushion. If you want to read more about it, or if you want to call me and ask questions about it, I can help you. But the bottom line is you're better to call your assessor and ask about your specific questions. Call your local assessor. Proposition 19 allows you to transfer your tax base to any county in California. There you go. All right. If you're thinking about selling your house, download this home inspection checklist. It does not take over an actual proper home inspection checklist because it's a third party person that comes in and they know what they're looking for. But this allows you to look at what condition your house is in before the inspector comes, get those things repaired so you have a clean inspection, and always disclose what you do repair. What do you get for $2 million? Oh, I missed rates. Rates are back up, painfully up. Jumbo is 6.74. VA is above 6%. Now, those are not quoted rates, and these are teaser rates, right? So do your homework, talk to a broker. If you need a broker, let me know. I'm happy to send you my contacts. Okay, what else? What you get for $2 million. This is in Almaden, and it's right off of Paseos Los Cerritos, which is a filter street. It's not a busy street. It's not my listing. It's a nice split level. It's 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square feet, built in 1972 on an almost 9,000 square foot lot. That means it's a pretty big lot. I was looking at buying a house like this before I bought this one in Almaden, except for the neighbors across the street were pretty loud and pretty rowdy, so I decided against it. I wish I did. However, the fates were in it that house actually burnt down a couple years after we bought this house. So glad that didn't happen. This house is beautiful. It's completely turnkey. I sold a house earlier like this over near Cupertino earlier this year, and it's a really pretty house, and it's nicely set up, except for the bathroom's kind of dated. But look at that nice backyard, got a nice little pool. So there you go. If you're interested in learning more, please give me a call. What you get for $1 million in Santa Clara County, this is in Morgan Hill and on the east side of Morgan Hill, up by Holiday Estates, or Jackson Oaks, they call it as well. And yep, not my listing. This is Dunn Ave, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,650 square feet, built in 1979. And let's take a look at the pictures. I don't really care for the splotchy stucco look. Nice kitchen. It looks a little small for this, but it's a smaller house. So there you go. And it's more ranch style. So you're not going to get a huge kitchen anyway, but everything is nicely updated except for that patchwork stucco. I'd get rid of that. And here's a nice positive/negative. Your backyard is a hill, so you have a retaining wall that you get to deal with. And it looks like they just recently fixed that. So there it is. You have a nice backyard here. You have a detached garage. And I don't know how this would work. I'd probably tear this whole hill out so I have more backyard. But looks like the property line is right there. So there's not much you can do about it. Oh, this is a 3-pack house. That's actually your house right here. And there's 2 other houses that you're dealing with. Let's see if this has an HOA. Yep, HOA. There you go. There you go. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about as well is tempo. The title of this video is, should I take an off-market offer before I list my house on the MLS? And my answer is, it depends on what you need. I don't suggest it. I don't recommend it, because when you get your house on the market, it's all about tempo. You expose your house to the entire market, and within the first 7 days, you see that you get a huge bump in your value, right? The first 7 to 14 days is where you get your biggest pump, right? And that's where the majority of homes are sold. Now, we do sell off market, but you don't get as big of a bump on there, mostly because you're not exposing it to the market. You don't know what the true value of your house is. And it could be at 5 cents over what your actual offer is, but you don't know. You just don't know. Now, what are some of the cases where you could or would want to use it? I don't want people coming into my house. I want to sell it discreetly. I don't want people on my block knowing I'm selling. I don't want people coming in from my neighborhood looking at my house. Those are all very privacy type things, but with that, you're walking away from a lot of money. Could be like 200 grand, like I think right here, right? Yeah, 15%, which is about here, is about 200 grand difference. $200,000 difference at 1.4. Now, what happens if your house is worth 2.5 million? Well, that's $375,000 you're walking away from, right? Could be 300,000. Now, I'm not suggesting what you should do, just telling you these are the facts for this market. Now, and these are for January 1st to July 30th this year. I have not updated it, but just be careful that you know that. Okay. And I want to leave you with this video because I thought it was charming. One of my Marines that I know from the service, when I was a staff sergeant, he was a lance corporal. I got out and he retired as a gunnery sergeant, and he's a great guy. And he just sent me this video. I want to share it with you because it's very telling on how not only the military works, but how sometimes the government works, right? And the reason why I say that is because I adopted La Colina Park, which is right down the street from me. I'm there every day, cleaning up, talking to people, reporting graffiti and homeless people, etc. You try to get stuff done efficiently, and the city just doesn't understand. It's just the way the government works, right? So I'll leave you with this. I'm Vito with Abitano. You have a great weekend. We'll see you out there.